All right, all praises and glory goes to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Yakwadash. Double and honors to the elders at GMS who's pushing this shit with all truth and sincerity. Shalom. And this is gonna be a quick lesson. This is a article from CNN News, and it says here Trump says he'll meet Putin in Alaska next week. And reading on, it says President Donald Trump said he'll be meeting with the Russian President Putin next week in Alaska after earlier in the day previewing terms of potential peace deal to end the war in Ukraine that could include some swapping of territories. The highly anticipated meeting between myself as President of the United States of America and as Putin of Russia will take place next Friday. The great state of Alaska, further details to follow. Trump posted on Truth Social Friday evening. Trump's announcement, which comes on the day he had set as a deadline for Putin to make peace or face severe economic punishment, marks a major moment in the U.S. president relationship with the Russian counterpart, who hasn't been in the U.S. since 2015 and hasn't met with Trump since 2018. So it's been 7 years since Putin and Trump got together, you know. U.S. of skipping down the plan which Putin presents to Trump, foreign envoy Steve in the Moscow meeting. Foreign, if I said it right, it's a lot. But in the meeting in Moscow on Wednesday would require Ukraine to secede, and secede is to give up or to surrender the eastern Donbass region, which majority of which is currently occupied by Russia, as well as Crimea, which Russia illegally annexed in 2004, and that means has taken over. And I'm stopping right there because I kind of skimmed through most of it, but yeah. So Putin and Trump, they're gonna meet next week on Friday to talk about these peace making a peace deal between Ukraine, and ever since Trump has put those submarines there, man, Russia hasn't been giving in to Trump's demands, man, and Russia isn't scared of Trump's authority no more, man. Russia isn't scared of America's authority no more, mostly because we are in the last days, and the end of America is with nuclear missiles, man, and they know that America is gonna eventually be destroyed, man. Putin and Trump, I'm pretty sure they know America is gonna be destroyed through the prophets, through GMS. Going back to GMS, man, that America is gonna be destroyed by nuclear missiles, man. And these nations, they're tired of America, man. Ultimately, being a big old bully, So they're standing up to the bully, man. And now the bully isn't the biggest on the block, man. Now these nations have weapons, man. These nations have a nuclear missiles, man. Even the smaller ones, man. So America isn't the biggest bully on the block that's bullying people no more, man. Now these nations are standing up, man. The bully can get so far until uh the victim gets tired, man, and stand up, then the bully has no authority, man. You know, when the victim stands up, man, and these nations are standing up by saying we had enough, man. We're not scared of your threats no more, you know. And this is Isaiah chapter 6 verse 9. He said, "Go and tell this people, be ever hearing but ever understanding, be ever seeing but never perceiving, man." And we tell our people, man, you know, that this is America and this place is going to be destroyed, you know. And they hear but they don't understand, man. You know, they see but they don't perceive it, man. You know, they see the wars, they see the uproars, the earthquakes, the false prophets, man. They see people rioting, man. You know, they see in earthquakes. I think there was 1,000 earthquakes in a day. You know, they're seeing pestilence, man, famines. You know, in certain parts of the world, man. You know, they're seeing these things. They're seeing signs in the heavens. They're seeing UFOs. You know, so-called UFOs. You know, which are really chariots. You know, and our people see it, but they don't perceive it, man. They don't think nothing of it, man. You know, and they hear that we are in the last days, but they don't understand, man. You know, and it's ultimately not given unto them to understand. You know, but in Matthew chapter 24, you know, through verse 4 through 8, you know, Yahweh Shai was telling us what will befall in the last days, man. You know, and we are here, man. We are at the beginning of sorrows, man. And now this damn devil's gonna come down with great wrath. You know, going back to Revelation chapter 12 and 12. You know, because he has a short time, man. These damn devils are on a time clock, man. To get this MOTB, to get this digital system up and running, man, which is already up and running. They just gotta pull it out, man. You know, they gotta do away with the dollar, man. You know, but this is Psalm chapter 37 verse 9. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that will wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth, man. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is gonna cut these 2/3 plus these heathens off, man, off of this side, man. He's gonna sift them, man. You know, like wheat, man. He's gonna sift them, but it's gonna be with that thermonuclear fire, man. He's gonna cut off the wicked, man. He's gonna cut off Esau and Edom, and their wicked inheritance that they have gotten, you know, through deceit, through wars, you know, through lies, man. You know, through cunning lies, man, and witchcraft, man. You know, they have gotten this land. They stole this land by deceit, rape, and robbery, man. You know, and killing, man. You know, but he's about to cut them off, man, and we can see it, man. You know, and how we can see it is because we are in the last days, man. We are living when this damn devil is about to go down, you know. But sooner or later, man, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is gonna let Jacob's trouble come, you know. Dealing with these damn devils, man. You know. And ever since that submarine crisis, man, Trump has been talking to Putin about you know, giving Putin threats, man, and Putin hasn't been taking his shit no more, man. You know, Trump isn't the biggest baddest bully on the block no more, man. You know, and these nations are ready to go to war behind what they stand for, man. You know, what they believe in, man. You know, these nations aren't scared of America no more, man. And Putin came out and said that they have America's infrastructure and they know where to attack, man. You know, so I wouldn't be surprised if later down the line there's a big false flag event, you know, that can shoot off, man. You know, because these elites, they're gonna have to They're gonna have to deceive the people to get that chip, man. To take the MOTB, man. And what is the best time? What is the best opportunity to do it? Is when people are panicking, man. When and how are what do most Americans and Babylonians, they fear, man? They fear for their life, man. You know. So when there's a T attack, or when a major event happens between U.S. and Russia, you know, and I'm just speculating, I'm just saying, that's the best time to get the American people to freak out, man, is when they're fearful, man, you know. And that's the best time to implement that MOTB when their life is on the line, man. Because the American people, man, they love their lives here in America, man. Even the 2/3, man, they love their lives here in America, man. They don't want to see America fall, you know. They don't want to go home, man. They want to stay here, man. They want to stay slaves, waking up every day to a 9 to 5, man. You know, coming back home, you know. But you know, this American lifestyle is about to be put down, man, by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, man. You know, because ultimately it promotes death, you know, to our nation, you know, to our people, man. You know, but you know, I just wanted to bring that out because, you know, very well this could escalate more, you know. I was reading somewhere down here, so it says here, Trump announcement, which comes on the day he had set as a deadline for Putin to make peace or face a severe economic punishment, man. You know, and like I said, Trump's words have no weight to it, man. You know, and these nations are seeing that Russia is standing up, you know, and they're gonna shoot their arrows to the U.S., man. They see Russia standing up, so what they're gonna do? They're gonna join alliance with Russia, man. You know, they're gonna join alliance with Russia, man. You know, and Putin. So like, and Trump has been putting terrorists on these other nations for not communicating but trading with Russia, man. You know, so these other nations, man, they're just tired of America, you know. These prideful ass Edomites, man, you know, they have done it in for themselves, man. You know, every nation truly hates America, man. You know, and they're showing it by standing up to America, man. And all America can do is talk big, man. You know, it's talk big, man. And America is very prideful about their military, man. You know, America says America dropped what, like, bombs on I think it was last week, it was last week. America they had what, two bombers or three bombers that dropped Iran's nuclear bases. I forgot where though. But America took out Iran's top 3 nuclear bases or something like that. You know, it was bases or so, but America took out 3 of them, and they said it was the best military. America has the best military, and only America's military could do something like this, man. So America has been talking prideful, man. You know, but they're gonna have to hold up to their talk, man. You know, and I'm gonna get a few videos, you know, while I'm at it, you know. Yeah, and look at this sick shit, man. This is what America breeds, man. This shit here.
Mr. Trump, we are not afraid of United States. The time for patience has passed. You have pushed us to the brink. Let me make this crystal clear. We do not fear you. We never have, and we never will. You in Washington think you can push us around, think your power is unmatched, but you are wrong. We have already identified your weakest points, And the first cities on our list are New York, Washington, and Los Angeles. Make no mistake, if war comes, we will strike swiftly, we will strike decisively, and we will not hesitate. And listen, Mr. Keir Starmer, if you stand by Washington, you are not immune. You think you are safe behind their shield, but you are wrong. London, you will suffer the consequences of your foolish loyalty. If you think your ties with Washington will protect you, think again. Should the fires of war ignite, Britain will burn just as much as the United States. No one will escape the wrath of what's coming. This is not a threat. This is a promise. You wanted to test us. You wanted to provoke us. Now you will face the price. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. That's so stand clear, Washington. Stand clear, London. The consequences will be far-reaching, and you will regret every step you've taken against us. Prepare for the fallout. The world will watch as your arrogance crumbles.
So if that video was real, it was it's real. But if it was fake, it's fake. But you know, I'm pretty sure it was a real video. I tried to look for a similar one. Well, I tried to look for on another video. I tried to look for the real deal. But as you can see, man, you heard Putin, you know, and you know the Bears coming. You know, they're known for what I think their logo or their state animal is a bear, man. So he's, you know, he's getting aggressive, man, with Trump, man. You know, and he's not scared no more. But by the way he was saying, man, it sounded like a T attack could happen, man. You know, and there's still sleeper cells in the U.S., man. You know, but moving on to a next one.
Well, breaking fuck the news, Vladimir Putin just said publicly that the world is inching towards World War III and that Iran and Russia are fighting the same enemies. Welcome to the shit show, everybody.
To the sleeper cells that's forming in the United States, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Go west. Do not come down here to this dirty South thinking shit's sweet. We will fold your clothes. Well, you wearing them motherfuckers. It's hot down here. Our minimum wage is low. And we ain't got shit to lose. Do not come south of that Mason-Dixon. And don't come east of the Mississippi. And you good. I'm just letting you know. We will peel your muffin cap back, blue boy.
You see, and they're threatening the sleeper cells and whatnot, but you know, it's all big talk until the bodies hit the floor, man. You know, as in the rock song, let the bodies hit the floor. But it's all big talk until people actually start dying, man, and America's turned into a third world country, man. You know, people eating in their house, and next thing you know, people at their dinner table with their family, and next thing you know, a missile's being dropped on them, man. You know, and now, and judgment like this is coming, man. It's coming.
Breaking: Vladimir Putin.
You know, judgment is like this is coming to America, man, because of what America has brought up, man. You know, people are gonna see their kids, man, die in front of them, man. It's gonna be horrific judgments out here, man, even for little kids, man. You know, and this is what we gotta be prepared to see, brothers, man. Is little kids dying right in front of us, man. You know, and America hasn't been touched whatsoever on its own land, so this is gonna be horrific. But you know, in the ancient world, if you read how the ancient men and how Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai was, man, in the ancient world, you know, death was like, you know, and death was Death wasn't nothing new, man. Death was regular in the ancient world, man, and it was gruesome, you know. Men were men back then, you know. Not today, man. You know, men get attitudes with other men, you know. Men be passive aggressive with other men, you know. These men here today in America, man, you know, they get out in public and they act all hard, you know, with other men. They want to be aggressive with other men, but then when they get home, you know, their kids is talking back to them, you know, their wife is basically holding their sack, man, you know, and their wife's telling them to get up and do something and go cook, you know, to get up and go get groceries, and you know, and their wife is basically telling them what to do, man, you know. So America breeds up soft men, man, you know, and it's mind-boggling that men can get aggressive with other men, you know, in public settings, and try to act all hard, but then when they get home behind closed doors, their wife is physically and emotionally abusing them, man, you know. And you know, this is America that we live in, man, that has given the woman power to gather abroad, has given the woman power and the opportunity to speak whatever she wants, man, to speak her opinion, you know. But
answered Trump's submarine threat by calling in China. Today, Russia and China launched joint military drills in the Sea of Japan, simulated combat operations, live fire exercises, and one clear message: we're watching you too. It started with a digital clash. Trump publicly confirmed that 2 U.S. Navy nuclear submarines are moving closer to Russia. That statement followed an online spat with former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev, who warned the U.S. could face direct consequences. Now Moscow and Beijing are pushing back. Their joint drills today showcased aircraft, destroyers, and coordinated missile tracking, a quiet but strategic show of force. Military analysts say this is more than theater, it's a signal. If the U.S. escalates, Russia won't stand alone. Trump's team says the subs are for deterrence, but critics warn this could provoke a dangerous response. So here's the question: are we watching a power display or the early moves of something far more serious? Drop your thoughts below. This story isn't cooling down.
yeah, and what
Serious.
what that brings me back to when I see this is America being invaded by troops, man. You know, by foreign troops, man. And very well, America can be turned into a battleground, man. You know, and what's the the elites. And this is all set up by design, by prophecy, and then by the elites, man. You know. And this can all be used to implement that MOTB, man, you know, until Yahweh Shimei Shai steps in and shit gets out of hand to where the elites won't be able to control shit no more. But this could very well be to where America gets invaded, man. You know, Trojan horse, you know, a mass blackout event, man. To where the power grid shuts down, you know, the transformers get shut down, man. You know, they turn off, man. You know, and everything for life to go back to normal, you know, for you to be safe, man, from all the chaos and all the lawlessness that's going around, all the purging that goes around. You have to take that MOTB and get into the smart cities, man. You know, where you'll be safe, where there's FEMA camps, man, where there's guards, man, and there's curfews, you know. This could very well be turned into I think Trump, I don't think it was this year, or no, it was somewhere down the line to where I think he did a bill or something, or he passed a bill or passed something to where he can turn I think a city, or he can it can be a a police state or something. You know, I don't know exact, but he passed a bill to where I think he passed a bill to where he's currently turning America into a police state, man, a surveillance, man. You know, and you know we've been telling our people this for some time, man. You know, and it's coming to pass. You know, martial law is being pushed, man. You know, they're making it a normal thing to have militaries in certain sections of the city, you know, in certain cities and certain states, man. You know, they're making it normal for ISIS to grab up people, man. They're making it normal for people to go to FEMA camps, man. You know, so they're slowly but surely getting geared up, man, for all hell to break loose, man. You know. And the apostle says, you know, that always stuck with me, is even the police is going to be, even 911 is going to need 911. So how bad is it going to get, you know, when you can't call the 911 line and be catered to, man? You know, how bad will it get, man? Because I look at these police officers that comes in at my work, man, you know, and they seem like when all hell breaks loose, you know, I run up scenarios in my mind, and they seem like to me that they're gonna be, I mean, very well, of course, they're gonna be protecting their own families, man. I don't think they're gonna be out here risking their lives, you know, for other people, man. You know, they're gonna be protecting their own families, man. You know. And it's gonna get bad out here, man. You know, this is why we're gonna need Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You know. But one scripture that popped up into my head, it's a lot. I think it's okay, I'm gonna get this. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Since you have kept my commandments to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth, man. And this trial, man, is gonna be like no other, man. You know, it's gonna be bad out here, man. You know, and that's the hour of temptation, the hour of the mark of the beast being implemented, man. You know, and it's gonna be all hell breaking loose, man. You know, and pestilence and famines, you know, and earthquakes, you know. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is gonna send mighty judgment upon this place, man. You know. He's gonna send heavy judgment upon this place, man. And the angels, man, they're not gonna care about if it's young, if somebody's young or old, man. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai doesn't have a respect of person, so he's gonna slaughter who he wants to slaughter, you know. But you know, I just wanted to get that, man. You know, we are in these times, man, and we keep telling our people, but you know, the ones that's gonna take heed, they're gonna take heed. The ones who doesn't really care, man, for what's going on, man. You know, they're gonna be lost in the sauce, man, when the lights get shut off, man. You know, and I've been seeing a lot of preppers and a lot of people prepping, man, for this time to come, man. Because the heathens, deep down in their conscience, they know something is up, man. They know that it could very well be a time where all hell is gonna break loose, man. You know, they're preparing. They're actually preparing for the apocalypse, man. For you know, and I remember there was a time when people who prepared, man, they were labeled as conspiracy theorists and as lunatics, as crazy, stupid, you know, and it was a whole big old gimmick, man. But now, look who's laughing, man. Them, man, because they're preparing, man. You know, now other people are trying to prepare, man. You know, but a lot of heathens, man, they're preparing for the apocalypse, man. You know. So yeah.
Bro, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Who's gonna start the revolution? Who's going to start the revolution for us to throw over the government? Because I promise you, we all ready to do it. Just say the word. Who's the leader? Where's Malcolm X Jr.? Point me to the leader. Point me to the leader. Point me to the leader. To the leader.
Yeah, and these women, they're lost in the sauce, man. They're lost in the sauce. This is you know, there's not gonna be no damn revolution. Of course, they want America to stay in power, so they get to be catered to and get the Queen of Heaven treatment, man. You know, as soon as all chaos break loose, man, that's out the window, man. You know, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is turning the earth right side up, man. You know, and these women, man, they're gonna be lost in the sauce, man. You know, when all hell breaks loose and they can't get on social media and post their opinions or post their so-called personalities, their good personalities, their likable personalities, man. You know, these women, they're lost, man. You know, so that's all I wanted to get. I hope this lesson was edifying. You know, so all praises and glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Yakokodash, double and honors to the elders at GMS who's pushing this truth with all truth and sincerity. Shalom.